Heidi ho! I wanted to bring to you my December wrap up a little early because I'm not sure if I was going to get to any more books or finishing them. So I figured this would be a good time to do it since I got books to take back to the library and check out some new ones. So we'll get started. The first one is Miracle on 34th Street by Valentine Davies. I read this 5 out of 5. I found that this book is a lot better than the movies. So anybody who don't care for the movies, I would recommend that you read this. Then the next one that I read is The Lightning Thief, book 1 of the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I rated this a 5 out of 5. And Buddy read it with Erica from Erica's Book is World. This is my new favorite book for the year. It has to deal with Percy learning that he's a son of a god and his father is Poseidon. And he has powers, and if you want to learn more, I suggest picking it up and reading it. There will be an announcement regarding the series sometime this week, so be looking forward to that. Excuse me. Next one is Snow White Bride by Carol Grace. I rated this 5 out of 5. I found this to be a really great, lovely story. Excuse me. I think I'm coming down with a cold or something. Next one I read is Keep Light by Thomas Kincaid. I rated this a 4 out of 5. This was part of a group read through Elizabeth's group from Lizzie Faye Loves to Read. Her group is going to be reading the series by him. So go check out her group on Goodreads and her YouTube channel, and one of her videos has details about this. The next one I read is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I rated this a 2 out of 5. I did not like this book. I also buddy read this with Erica, and she didn't like it either. It was boring and hard to relate. I mean, there was points I thought it had caught my attention and found it interesting, but once you come upon those interesting points and continue reading, it's like, okay, this is going downhill. It's losing my attention. And at one point we were thinking of DNFing it, but we continued on to finish it to see what it was like. And the next one is Tidings of Great Joy by Sandra Brown. I rated this a 5 out of 5. This might have a trigger for some people concerning that it has to do with miscarriage, but it is a wonderful story, very juicy and steamy in a lot of parts in this. The main character, Rhea, she met up with soon-to-be elected Mayor Taylor. They had a one-night stand on Christmas Eve. She ends up finding out that she's pregnant with his child, and they came to an arrangement to get married for the sake of the baby and for his job because of his standing in the community. And then she ends up losing the baby, no fault to her or him. They had some really rocky starts there after the child. But they stayed together, kept to the marriage, and then she kept threatening to leave him too because of how the arrangements were. And then they ended up admitting to each other that they love each other and stayed together. So I would recommend picking this up. And the next two books was the X-Files books. Number 1, X Marks the Spot, and number 2, Darkness Fall. I rated number 1 2 out of 5 stars, and number 3 number 2 3 out of 5 stars. Number 1 was just a little too freaky and weird for me, and number 2 was okay. I didn't hate it and I didn't love it, but it deserved a 3 for me. So for the month of December, I had read 2,119 pages and a total of 8 books. So yeah, that is my last wrap up for 2018. And I'll see you guys again sometime this week, because you got more videos coming out, so be looking for that. Bye.